Hello. All right. So this is my completed Folio 2 album. This is the album that we're going to be using for the Americana themed Folio project for the summer of 2024. So I hope you like it. Also, in the same playlist was the video that Photo Play put out. I added it to the playlist. I thought the lady that assembled the album went through it super easy. So I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. So hopefully you have already watched that video and you can see that I've already put everything together. My little waterfall there, all my pockets, the end pocket here, and then in order to close it, it looks like that. There, that, and then that. It's real easy. If you accidentally do this part and try to fold it like that, you're going to see that it doesn't operate like that. So you want to make sure that when you go to fold it, it's in between the second flap and the other page there. So that way it kind of looks like that. But I've already done my album. This video, we are going to be putting all of the base layers down. So, and decorating the pockets and doing the little magnets on the closures, our waterfall, everything. So I have all of my pieces right here and they're in particular order. So I hope I got everything. If I didn't get anything, if I missed something at the very end, once I get all these pieces down, I can go back through my album and see if I missed cutting a strip. And then I'll do that like at the end of the album. I'll do that at the end of the album, but I have all my pieces ready to go. Now, to help with assembling, you are going to need, like I have my old one here, but you are going to need a crocodile because there's going to be some eyelets that are in your kit that are going to be used for the tags. Okay. Your magnets are included. Your twine is included. What else? You're also going to need a 1-inch. I've got two different sizes right here with me, but a 1-inch circle punch. But if you happen to have something a little bit larger, I've got, this one is what size is this? This is 1 3/4. So that's probably too big. So if you have at least a 1-inch circle punch, you will be great. And then also I have a corner rounder. Okay. There's going to be a couple of areas where we're going to be doing some punching on the pockets and then where we need to corner round. So those are the extra tools that you're going to need. Also, whatever adhesive you'll be using, we'll be mainly using either glue or your choice of, flat adhesive from a tape runner or whatever. I don't have any other tools here. You might need some paper snips, maybe, I don't know. But with your magnets, like this is my little sheet of magnets right here. And I already have some ready to go for here. But with your sheet of magnets, with your two magnets, you're going to see a little sheet that has a couple of dots on it. In your kit, they're just going to be cut out. These are the a little adhesive dots. Sorry, I'm trying to think what I was trying to say there. The adhesive dots that are going to go on the back of the magnets to help hold them down. Okay, so if you saw a little bitty cutout with a couple of little dots like that, don't throw those away. Those go with your magnets, okay? Also, that's it. Other than that, that's it. We're not going to be using any dimensionals or foam tape or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the front. We'll just make it real easy. Let's just start with the front. Okay. Now I will tell you that with how I decided to decorate it, if there's another paper that you want to feature in any of the sections, then just substitute it. In the written tutorial, the measurements are in the written tutorial, so you'll be able to know what size to cut your paper if you're using something else, or maybe if you're recreating this. I will tell you, look at the flip side. I know I've showed this paper in other videos before recently. So, but let's go ahead and I'm going to try to get through this video in one take. But so far, I see at least one kitten that has escaped and is on the stairs. So if I can get through this video without getting interrupted, I will. Other than that, you might see a break in the video later. So let's go ahead and get started. I chose this paper, and I'm not going to list the measurements as I'm going through because the measurements are in the written tutorial. So make sure that you at least start before you, or maybe you want to watch the video first. I don't know. Maybe you want to watch the video to see kind of how this is going to, how this is all going to go through. What am I trying to say? How this is going to pan out. But you do have to cut all of your paper, okay? You do have to cut all your paper. Now your sticker sheet, I'm going to reserve that for just the final. Your sticker sheet and anything else, which really is just the rest of the stickers, we're going to reserve that for just the pictures, so you can see kind of what I did with the stickers. But this video, we're just going to lay all our base pieces down, and let's get started. All right, so this particular piece, I am using this right in the front, and for the most part, all of these are going to be quote unquote mattes. So you're going to see a little bit of the white of the Folio album. And I'm going to grab my new glue press, yay, from my sweet Petunia. I've been waiting for a while for this to show up. And this is easier on my hands. I've been working with this for almost a couple of days, and I'm loving it. Okay, you can try to get all the way around here. This is just easier on my hands. And the way this thing sits in this, I'm gonna bring it over here so you can see the way this sits. I probably should just leave it right here. Yeah, the way this sits in here, the tip is not going to clog up. All right, so let's get this down. Using glue on your project will also help to give you a little bit of leeway when it comes to setting it before you decide to put everything down. Okay, now we are going to be closing this album with some twine, and originally I wanted to put it under the paper, but I decided kind of at the last minute just to leave it. Okay, I went ahead and just left it, and we're still going to close it, but it's going to be with something different, and that'll be a completely separate video because that's going to be something that we're going to add on at the very, very end. Okay, we're not going to do it with this particular one, but we will. So look out, make sure to check the playlist for that video so that you know how to be able to close your Folio album. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. So in your paper, you have lots of little 3x4 cards to choose from. Okay, I liked this one. I really like this one. Now, also in your kit, you're also going to have already pre-cut these cardstock colors. They're either going to be red or blue. Okay, if there's another color, which I don't know what other color you would substitute this with. I think the blue worked really, really well with that. Now, if you want to do well, I wouldn't do the red because it would be red on red, but that's why I chose blue. But also, when you go to put this down, so choose whatever you want the front of your album to be with your little 3x4, and you'll know because on the, see if I have a sheet here. All of mine is pretty much, all of mine are pretty much, let me get this one right here to show you. So this one's one of them, but these are the larger ones. But on some of the back of the papers, here we go. You have these 3x4 sizes. whatever you want the front of your album to be, that's what you will want to just cut out. Okay, so I chose this one. But like I said, it could be any of them. Okay, but I will tell you, when you go to mat this, you want to put your dimensionals here and leave a good 1 inch in between. Originally, that was because of the twine going through. So that's optional. You can put them however you want to put them. That's what I was intending to do originally, and then of course I changed my mind. All right, so let's get these off, and we're going to put this right in the center. Okay, we'll put that right in the center, and I already hear a kitten meowing. All right, now we're going to do the middle spine, the front spine, I guess you can say. We got 2 spines here, and you're going to have to cut 2 pieces. Okay, so this piece is the one that's going to go on right there. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but kittens are mobile. I was hoping, I think they hear me talking too. So, all right, so whatever adhesive you want to use. Now, when you go to put your papers down, do make sure that if there is a certain direction, which I was about to put my paper down that way, but if you look at that star, the flag, that kind of caught my attention there. So you do want to make sure that your paper is going in the right direction when you go to put this on. Okay, and then just smooth that down. All right, and then this is actually the back. So let's go ahead and put the back on, since that's my next sheet that I have. And let's get this on. I hope you all had fun putting your albums together. If you have already put your albums together, I had a blast. The video is not that long. If you haven't had a chance to put your Folio album together, if you want, you can watch the video. The lady is super, super easy to understand. You can either, just making sure I got glue everywhere to make sure it sticks good. The lady is super, oh my goodness. You guys, I put adhesive on the wrong side. And I'm keeping this because that might be useful later. I kept all my little pieces like that. All right, so that I don't get sidetracked, let me start with putting this on while I'm talking. Oh my goodness. Talk about a big oops. So if you're like me, you like to watch YouTube videos or crafting videos. For me, it's, for the most part, it's not about, well, I would say it's maybe like half learning something or seeing something new versus just needing to fill the noise. You know, I need noise. I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of that stuff while I'm crafting, just because I need that sound. As you can tell, it's super quiet in here. My husband gets up super, super early, and I'm going to learn how to use my little tool here to help smooth things down, so I'm not using my fingers as much. But as you can tell on my album, all of my pieces are lined up. So you want to make sure if you have this folded out, that all your pieces pretty much line up from the top and the bottom. Okay. Now the last piece that I have is going to be, let's do that, is the other spine. So that other piece of pattern paper that I have is going to go right here on this spine. Okay. That's why it's a little bit, it's not as wide. It's the same, length. It's just not the same width because it's a different spine. Okay, I think the kittens are playing, so I should be good, you guys. I think as long as I keep my voice down. I fed them a couple of hours ago, so I'm hoping. Okay, that one, there's no direction on that one, so it doesn't really matter how I put that on, but I have it looking this way so that I can make sure it lines up with the top and bottom. And then I'm going to look at the top and make sure that it's centered. Okay, and then I'm just going to run my finger over that to help smooth that glue down. Now I like this glue because it doesn't bubble up the page, but then again, you don't want to use like a whole lot, but you do want to make sure that you can smooth that down so that you don't have any lumps. You have too much glue. And definitely you don't want to put too much around your edges because you don't want it to ooze out and get everything sticky, right? All right, so far we've put our front on, our two spines, and the back. Pretty easy. All right, so now we're going to be working on this front page and the closure. Now for the closure, this closure is actually designed to help this particular pocket, the first pocket. So it's going to close on this end. So when we go to put this on, I'll just show you, there's a magnet that we're going to be using on this side of the closure, okay? And then there's going to be another magnet when we get to this page. So let's go ahead with that. For this page, I chose this paper, and let's get it going in the right direction. This one is going to cover up the whole inside of this, okay? So let's get, before I put it on the wrong side, let me start putting glue on the side that I want to cover up. Now, the reason why it's covering up the whole front is because we're trying to cover up where the folder pocket comes together so you don't see that seam, and we're going to be decorating that a little bit as well. Okay. All right, so I wanted to do this video also in order to make sure I'm going to put that on right, in order to be able to do pictures and show everyone what the completed project is going to look like. Okay, and I've got that lined up on top left. Yeah, top left. I wanted to make sure that closure was going to fold over pretty good and not put it up against the score line right here. Okay, that's the last place you need it because you need to be able to move your pocket. Okay, so just be careful when putting it down. I'm not too worried about the closure because that gives a little bit. And that's going to bend over anyway and fold into something on the back of that one. And I'll show you that one later. So let's go ahead and put our papers down. And for this one, I can't remember. I think I did those two. Let me see. I can't remember which one I did. And of course, when you go to cut your paper, if you cut something different, we'll do this one. Yeah, we'll do that one. And then we'll put that on the back. I kind of like that. But you'll see when you go to cut your paper, there's going to be lots of opportunities where you can actually put your scraps. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one. Now, when I cut this paper, I purposely, on my paper, I purposely had to find a line where I could cut all of the pinwheels. And it got a little bit of the bottom ones down, and that's okay. Got a little bit of the bottom, and that's okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this down. Oops. Get some glue on that. I want to make sure it doesn't want to pop up. Okay, let's get that down. I'm going to center it. Now, I did decide against sponge daubing any edges. That's a lot of sponge daubing to do here, and the red or blue I thought would have been way too much. It would have been way too much. But if you want to distress your edges just a little bit, go for it. Go for it. All right, so this back piece right here, what we're going to do is you want your magnet. We're going to get one of your magnets. You should have 4 magnets. They're probably all stuck together, like mine are stuck together right now. Let's see if I can get this pulled apart. They're little bitty craft magnets. And let me see if I can pull that apart because my fingernails don't go in there. Oops. All right, that's not going to work. All right, so let me see. Let me grab one magnet then, since those seem to want to go. My magnets are sticking to it. All right, so I got one magnet. Yay. All right, so what we're going to do is one of your little adhesive pieces. What we're going to do is on one side, doesn't really matter what side you do it, we want to put one of those little pieces on one side of your magnet, okay? And then take a little, you can take either your end of your fingernail or a little pokey tool, whatever. Uh-oh. Hold on, you guys. One of the kittens, my big cat was messing with one of the kittens, and I had to get his attention. All right, so what we're going to do is, for this one, we're going to put our magnet on the back of this piece right here, and then we're going to cover it up with our pattern paper. Okay, so this particular, let me move the magnet down a little bit so you can see what I'm trying to do. When this folder closes, unless there's some kind of closure, you don't want stuff falling out of whatever you have in this pocket. Okay, so once this is decorated and this folds over, on this sheet there's going to be another magnet where it'll help hold it down. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that magnet and, oops, I can grab it. We're going to put the magnet sort of like in the middle because we want it to be part of that closure, right? Okay, and then just press it down. That's about as close to the edge as I was trying to get. And then now we're going to use our glue. Some glue on the back of that. You never know what's happening around here, you guys. And then just cover that up. Now, we'll tell you, I used a low profile magnet. And so you're going to see a little bit of a bump right there. Now, for that, you want to press down on it a little bit so that that glue has a chance to settle on your paper. Let me smooth that down a little bit. So give it just a moment. Give it a chance to settle down there. Now, if you want to continue, now I don't know if you can see that from your angle. You might be able to, but see how there's a little bit of bump in there? That is okay. Okay, there's no way around that. And that's why I chose a really low profile magnet so that it's as thin as it can be. Okay, so while that's sitting there, we're going to go with our pocket next. And for this one, I have these 2 pieces. This piece is going to go right on the front. And then this other piece, I wasn't too crazy about the flower paper. I just wasn't, but I still wanted to incorporate it. The back side was the cards, and so I wasn't too concerned with cutting into those. And I did use them for some other things, but the paper, this paper, I just wasn't too crazy about. But I wanted to put a little bit into it so that you could see it. This paper, this piece is going to go right on the inside, okay, just to kind of decorate that piece. So let's go ahead and put this on. I decided against that one because those 2 were just way too busy side by side. Okay, so you are welcome to use the same papers that I used Or you can mix it up. However, this is your folio album. These are your memories, and it needs to be reflective of you. And there's lots and lots of different designs that you can use. So I want to see your albums. When you are done putting yours together, I want to see. I want to see how yours came out. It makes me happy when I see that other people are actually doing the projects and recreating them. It really does. All right, so let's put this one on. We're gonna slide this. There is so much activity going on upstairs, you guys. I'm wondering what in the world is going on, but as long as they're not down here while I'm trying to do this video, I am okay with that. Let me put a little bit right here and right here, because I want to make sure when I push that in that it sets well. Okay, so we're going to slide that in. Ooh, try not to get glue on everything. We're going to leave a little bit of that lip. Okay, so this piece, this measurement will slide right in. There we go. That way, when you open it, you still see a little bit of that paper, and you can put anything you want in here. If you want to make more tags, you can put tags in there. If there's pictures that you want to mat and just put in there, you can put those in there as well. But there's a fabulous pocket to go there. All right, now the back page of that. We have this one we're going to use, and I've gone ahead and matted this one. And when I matted this one, there's a reason why I only put the dimensionals on the back side. I also pointed that out in the tutorials as well, because let me just show you. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this piece down. But before we do that, we need to determine where the other magnet is going to go. So let me grab just one. Hopefully one will just pop out. Oops, it did, and it stuck right to my scissors because of the magnet. All right, so I got one magnet, and then let me grab one of the adhesive circles. Ooh, did it come off? Uh-oh, it didn't come off. Let's see if I can grab that. There we go. It's just a circle. So if it's a very big circle, so if you have a large round glue dot, that might work too. But they're provided for us, so I included them in with your magnets. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we want to make sure that the magnets line up. So this is very important. Let me bring this down just a little bit. Forgot I had pulled it up. We want to make sure that the magnets line up. Okay, but I want to put this magnet down, but the magnet's going to go down actually on the base itself, the album. So what you do is you take, remember this album over here on the closure, and this one, line it up. Uh-oh, mine fell. Mine totally fell. There we go. Ooh. Line it up. Why is it going? Where did it go? It's like moving on me. Why did it go over there? Okay, let's try this again. That is so weird. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. I don't know why it's like it's moving when it's supposed to be like right on there. It wants to like literally move, you guys. All right. I'm trying not to edit this video. But I don't know why it wants to move on me. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna put it down loosely. All right, let's do this. don't know why it doesn't want to stick. Okay, so let me do this. I don't know why that doesn't want to stick. Let me try this one right here. That's another low profile magnet that I just happen to have. And it's sticking, which is what it's supposed to do. I'm wondering if I bought the wrong magnets. Well, I'm pre-recording this video, so whatever magnets are included with your kit, that one seems to be sticking. So what I'm going to do, it's another low profile magnet that I happen to have. It just happened to be a little bit larger. We're going to peel. I can get it off. Let's see, let me grab that. Sorry, my desk is a little, where I was putting my foot was squeaking a little bit. All right, so already this video is longer than I wanted it to be. So I'm going to put this magnet on the back of the one that's on the closure, okay? Because what I'm trying to determine is where to put this over here on the base. So now that that's lined up and the sticky part is exposed, we're just going to hold on, you guys. Hold on. I just realized something. Okay. So when I put this piece on right here, my bad. A magnet does not go there. Okay. Now, if you put your magnet in there, it's okay. Okay. If you've already done that part, it's okay. But if you haven't, don't put a magnet on this side. I just don't put a magnet there. Okay. I won't try to explain because I'll just confuse myself. So now we're going to be putting our paper on this particular, which is the back of the pocket. I can already tell as I'm going through this video, I'm going to have to do some editing. That'll be a blooper. How about that? That will be a blooper. Let's see if I can do a blooper video. Y'all will laugh. It'll be funny. I'm so glad I'm not doing this live. Pre-recorded. All right. And I'm going to put a little note on that other part. So right before I give instructions, I'm going to say, don't do the magnet. Or I'll leave that part out. I don't know. I'm just talking to myself as I'm assembling this album. So we got this red and white striped paper. Now, of course, when you do yours, you can do them horizontal or you can do them vertical. It does not matter. What matters is whatever card you decide to mat on your blue piece of cardstock, on the back, you want to make sure you only put your dimensionals on the corners. And that is because when you go to put that in the center of your page, this piece right here, this actually folds into, and what you're going to do is you're going to want to curve this a little bit. You can just use your hands, but once you have things in your album, this piece is actually going to go back behind there. So that's why you only put your dimensionals on there. And it's going to bend a little bit, and that's okay. That's what it's intended for. But it's also intended to help close up that particular pocket. So let's go ahead and put this down. And if you need to gauge where you're going to put it, you can. Now mine, a little bit of this end is going to show, and that's okay. If you want to move it over, you can also move it over. We're going to be decorating this with some other things after we're done. So I think I'm just going to leave mine right in the center. I'm going to leave mine right in the center. Okay. So let's get those off. While that's down, let's put this in the center. Okay, so we have that down, and that's already in the closure. And let me just show you. Oops. Oh, I didn't take that backing off that one. There we go. I was like, why did that pull up? If you want to reinforce it a little bit more, then put 3 dimensionals on the back all the way across the top and bottom, just to give you a little bit more. Okay, so this shows you how it just folds in there. Okay, and that's what's going to help close that pocket. So I'm going to leave that open. Now, this little strip right here, I decided to take some of the pinwheel paper. You'll notice I do several things with these little pieces that you see in between. It's either going to be cardstock or it's going to be a strip of, ooh, the hot air balloons would have been cool too, now that I look at that. But we're going to put that down the center. We want to fill up that spot right there with something nice and fun. And I had, there again, when I was cutting for the pinwheels, I had to choose, you know, a certain amount, and it cut off a little bit on the ends, but that's okay. I'm just looking down to make sure I don't see. Thought I heard somebody come down the stairs. All right, so now that we've done that part and that part, let's flip this out, because the next thing is going to be this pocket right here. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. And we have, uh-oh, maybe somebody did come down. We have a tag. Make sure I got all my pieces here. All right, so we have this piece of paper. And in your kit, you're also going to have several of these big tags already done for you. Okay, I decided just to go ahead and do them instead of you cutting them. So your cardstock tag is already in tag form for you. Now, what you will have to do is you will have to do your tag topper with your paper. And I'm going to be decorating for this one. I'm going to be decorating both sides of this tag. So all my tag pieces, that's my tag, my 2 topper pieces, and then I decided to use some stickers. So let me set that right there. And I seem to be missing a piece. I seem to be missing this piece right here. But let's go ahead and get this piece on right here. I decided to go with the hot air balloons. I like how the hot air balloons goes well with this red and white striped paper. So let's go ahead and get that down. It is a little bit longer, so it is going to go into the pocket. That seems like that's going to be one of those pieces I'm going to have to cut afterwards. So if you're watching this video and you're like, what goes there? Unless I accidentally used it for something else, which is very possible. I had a lot of paper. I had a lot of paper all over this desk, and I might have accidentally pulled it and did something with it, not realizing it was reserved for this piece right here. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in. I didn't put any glue at the very, very bottom, but this piece goes in, and it goes all, if I can get that all the way down. See if I can get that all the way down. There we go. All the way down, and when it goes all the way down, it pretty much lines up with the top already. You might have to adjust it just a little bit, which is okay. I had to adjust mine a little bit, and then just smooth it down. If I need to, I will cut a small piece of paper and do that now. I probably should go ahead and do that because we're going to be punching holes there. You know what? I'm just going to add that piece to the other video when it comes to, what did I say earlier? I'm just going to add that on later, okay, so that we can continue. But that's where you're, or maybe at the end of the video. I don't know. We're just going to keep moving, right? All right. So we have this back piece down, and then we have your tag. So grab your tag. I'm going to just scoot that up a little bit so we can see here. Now in the written tutorials, you'll see how I cut the tag. Okay, so that this sits right on the top. And this is where your crocodile is going to come in, because we are going to be, I've done one of them on another page, but this is where the crocodile comes in. Okay, so we're going to put that right at the top. Okay, smooth that down. Now, if you're wondering what this tool is, it's just a scorer and a little smoother downer, whatever you want to call it. There's a scoring piece on there, and then this is thin enough to help when it comes to smoothing down your pieces. Okay, if you want one of these, I will link them in the video along with my glue press. Y'all, here we go again. I was putting it on the wrong side, but I stopped as soon as I realized I have kittens at my feet. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to stop and take care of those, wrangle them back up and get them back upstairs. But as long as they don't start jumping on me, I think we will be fine. I don't know if y'all can hear the little bitty meows. This seems to be a little bit off, but it's not. Okay, if it looks a little off, it probably is. It's my measurements. All right, so I have those down. That does seem crooked, Barbara, but I'm not going to worry about it. This is handmade, right? I do have some stickers. So we're going to take one of the stickers, which happens to measure the width of, there's another piece on here. There we go. I thought that kind of looked odd. And we are going to put that right across the bottom here. There we go. Just line that up just like that. And then the other sticker is the pinwheels. And let's pull that off. And line that up underneath there. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we have one of our tags. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to poke a hole in this one. This tag is going to be a little bit different than the other ones that I'm going to show you later. For this one, we're just going to poke a hole and insert an eyelet. Okay, so pick a side, whatever side you want to use. Your crocodile. I'm going to use the larger hole, and I'm just going to insert this sort of in the center. Hopefully I can get a good, and then we can put ribbons on it later when we go to, so I got a hole there. When we go to do our decorating with stickers and stuff, we'll put the ribbon on. Okay, but I want to go ahead and do the eyelet there. This one is just going to be a simple eyelet. And then I've got this little eyelet piece in the right spot. I'm going to get that in there. I know y'all cannot see what I'm doing, but I'm taking get a good grip on this, y'all. I don't have good hand grip strength, and I'm doing it slowly. I took both of my hands to do that, you guys. Y'all might be able to do it with one, but I had to do it with two. I had to get a good grip on it. So because if my hand slipped, I have a little ulcer on the bottom of this right here, and of course my whole finger's messed up. But anyway, so now we have our eyelet, and then on the back you can see how smooth the eyelet is gone down. And let me set my crocodile aside. And this is the tag that's going to go in this pocket right here. Let me bring that down a little bit so you can see. Okay, so that's the tag that's going to go down in that pocket right there. And at the end of the video, we're going to cut and punch this piece right here, because I do have a feeling that I accidentally used that piece on something else. Okay, so we're going to come back to that. Now, as we flip over the next page, what we have is a triangular pocket here. And what do we have on this one? We got several pieces here. We've got our pieces for our next tag. We've got that piece right there. And we have another sheet of, upside down, banners. Okay. If you want, you can totally use that side as well. I kind of like both of them. I do. I like both of them. So that's tough, right? Because I used that one right there. You can see a little bit of it there. And I hate changing my mind at the last minute, but I'm going to show you guys in case that's something you want to do. Let's do that. I want to do that one instead. I don't remember what I have on the other page over here, but let's do that one. I like the fireworks. So we're going to cover this piece up. So let's get my adhesive down. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. And I wanted you to see, hey, the other side's equally cute. I'm loving this paper. I really am. And I do have a little one at my foot, but I'm going to try to ignore him, hoping that he or she gets into something that kind of keeps them occupied. All right, so let's get this down. And this is a little directional. That does look like that should be the top just because of the way that firework is. And we're going to scoot that down into this pocket. And I know that adhesive, ooh, you're going to have to act fast getting that in there. That adhesive is wanting to stick. Okay, get that centered in there. Centered as much as it can be. That's probably a tad too low, but that's okay. That was getting kind of rough there at the end. And then we're going to put this one on. And we are going to put it with the gingham or the plaid, whatever you want to call it, side. So make sure you get good glue in your corners. I hear some playing upstairs, and I see one kitten down here. So let's get some in the middle. And then let's get this on. This goes right here. This is going to be so fun when it comes to decorating it with those stickers. You want to make sure you leave the white all the way around. Press that down a little bit. All right, now I'm going to work on this piece right here. This piece right here. I have got, on this one, we're going to be doing with covering it with cardstock. Okay, so your pieces, get some adhesive on your cardstock. Now, if you want to put pattern paper, and there's another paper that you see, go right ahead and use pattern paper. I was trying to mix it up throughout the album. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit off, but I need to center this. But that's only because I pushed that paper in. See how it's just a little off, but I needed it to show some white down here. Okay, so we can fill that little space up. All right, let's go ahead and do, let's do the waterfall. We're just gonna go one right after the other. How about that? But before we do that, we have another tag. This is a smaller tag than the other one, just because this other one was a large pocket. That one was a large pocket. This one's a little bit smaller and it's not as deep. So this one, we're going to go ahead and get some adhesive on the back of this paper. Let's do that. And let's put this right at the top. Now this tag, like I said, this one is a little bit smaller than the big tag. And so you'll notice that you'll have several sizes of tags. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and I punched a little 1-inch circle. So in with your kit, you're going to see a little 1-inch circle that goes right there in the center. And we're going to get a little bit of, we're mixing up these tags. And we're going to put that right there, right in the middle. Sorry, there's 2 kittens down below me. All right, we're going to grab another eyelet. So you're going to have several eyelets. You're going to have enough eyelets to do all of your tags. Okay, so let's make the big hole. And we're going to get that right in the center. I'm going to eyeball this one. That looks like it's right in the center. Close enough. There is a setting on the Crop-A-Dile. I'm just eyeballing it. But there is a setting on the Crop-A-Dile where you can push your paper all the way in and it gets it right in the center. I'm just not doing that on mine. Okay, now we're going to close it. So I've got my setting there. And let me get that. I'm getting a whiff of something, you guys. And I don't know if a cat, what they are doing down here. Oh, they got a tiki stick and they're playing with it and trying to eat the rest of the mousse from the tiki stick. All right, we'll do the ribbon when we go through the decorating, basically. Okay, but this tag right here, there's going to be another one that goes on this side, and I think I've already done that one. It's going to go on this side whenever we get to that point, but this one just sits right there. Okay, and there is twine that goes in here that we're going to be putting on afterwards along with the decorating. So this was just a video to get our bases down, and then the decorating is completely however you want to decorate. Okay. Since I have this little piece right here, let's go ahead and put this down. This one goes to the other side right here. I want to make sure I get this down and I don't lose it. All right, so get adhesive on the back. And let's go ahead and get this down to fill that spot up. I'm trying to center it. That's a big risk I'm taking considering I haven't put this paper down or this other paper. So you don't have to do this yet if you want to do this at the very, very end. All right, y'all, the waterfall. The waterfall. This is going to be the most steps out of this whole album. Okay. And I've got all of my pieces. Oh my gosh, I have so many pieces already cut and ready to go. So in your tutorials, each step is in your tutorials. And there we go. I think those are all of the pieces. All right, so all of these strips, except for that one. That one's the biggest one. These are all the same size. They're just different ones. This piece actually came off the back of this particular paper. And this one's going to go right at the top. And I probably should have trimmed that off a little bit, but that's okay. It shows a little bit of white along the top. And that's what I want. I just wanted a little bit. So I'm not going to trim that down, but I am going to get some adhesive on the back of this. I will have to double check the written tutorials, but if you want to trim it down another 1/16 of an inch, and you want to see a little bit more white along the top, then you can. Okay. That might be better because it'll be more in line with these, but that's okay. Everything doesn't actually have to be lined up exactly, but we definitely want to fill that spot in right there. Okay. Now this top flap, we're just going to go one at a time. I chose this paper to go matted on this first piece right there, or you can use, y'all, I'm having a hard time. You know what? Let's use that. I'm going to use that. Even though I cut it to show the pinwheel, I am going to use this side. I plan on, when I go decorating, I plan on using hot air balloons, but I don't think I showed the hot air balloon paper enough so far. So let's go ahead and just change it. I'm going to make an executive decision right here and now. All right, so let's smooth that down. All right, easy peasy, right? All right, as we flip it up, this is where we're going to have a couple of pieces come into play. So all these little strips that we've used, I don't remember how I had them, but one of the strips is going to go in that spot right there to cover up that. And then the other piece that you have is going to go at the bottom of your card. Okay. Let me make sure I got those. Why is that one not long enough? That one's not long enough. I don't know what I did with that one. Oh, maybe I haven't flip-flopped. Well, I don't know what I did with these guys, but I didn't. Clearly, I measured them a little bit wrong. But I'm going to go ahead and put mine down. And I'm going to have to make sure that the tutorials are the full measurement. Which, yeah. Never mind me. I promise you guys, sometimes I do know what I'm doing. But for mine, I'm not going to go back and cut these. They are going to just have to be in the center. Just going to have to be in the center. So I'm going to leave a little bit of white on both ends. And yeah, that's just going to have to be what it is. All right. And then the second piece is going to go fill in that little spot right there. Okay. So let's do that. It's going to be fun editing this video. It's going to be fun. All right, and this piece goes there just to help cover up that little gap. Yeah, I cut mine a little bit too short. So I'm going to make sure that when in the video, in the written tutorials, that it extends out and covers that whole little flap. I don't know what I was thinking on this part, you guys. But that's how we're going to do each one of these flaps. Okay, so let's choose what paper we want. Let's do that one. Just going to move these around. I didn't have a visual memory of how I put these down when I first decided to lay out the papers. So my suggestion is going to be lay out your papers first and make sure that's what you want on each page before you go putting them down. Okay, so now we're just going to lay these down, basically one at a time. This is where scraps come in super, super handy, because if you have a scrap of a certain pattern, you can cut it. We just need a little bit. We just want them on the ends. Okay, and then we got, let's do one there, and let's do that one. Yeah, let's do that. Like I said, I don't show that flower paper enough, but I'm just not digging that particular pattern. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't really, maybe y'all know something I don't know. As far as this paper, I'm just not getting the flowers and how it goes with, Americana and the, I'm just not, you guys. Sorry. I don't get how it goes with the fireworks theme and everything for 4th of July. I mean, I like the colors, I'm just not too crazy about the flowers. Let's turn it this way. It does look like it's a little directional. Okay, and that goes down at the bottom. And you'll see when I flip all these back, you'll see how they all go. Right, now we have the last one here, which we'll put that one in there, and we'll put, do I have one down already? I do. Okay, I want to make sure. So let's put this one on the inside where you don't see it. Yeah, they're definitely playing with something right around my chair, but I'm trying not to pay attention to them. Right? Is that how we ignore our kids? You just don't pay attention to them. Well, these babies. See, I put two back to back, but that's okay because that's what gets covered up, and it's on the inside. So that's why I was suggesting laying out your papers first to make sure that everything is how you want it to be. All right, let's put that one down at the bottom. This is the part where we're going to put a magnet. Okay. And the magnet, in order, we didn't put it underneath this paper, but there is a magnet that's going to go here in the center, and we're going to put something over that to cover that magnet up. Okay. But this does close like that, and the magnet's going to go on this side. So as you can tell, we've got all our papers. And then when you flip it, you can get creative with your papers. You'll see. And then also, if you have any extra pieces of scraps that are left over, you can, on the inside of these, you can also put another piece right here, right here up along the top on each one of these, so that when you flip it open, not only do you see a strip in between to help cover up that little area, you see a strip maybe on the top. Okay. Now, the last piece that goes on is going to be, if I can grab it, it's going to be this piece. Okay. It's, you can use that. You know what? Oh, because I flipped that one, let's use that one. Let's turn it the right side, Barbara. There we go. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to put this on there just because I've got it there and I've got it there. So I need something different right here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's put the glue on this side. Talk about changing your mind as you're doing a video, right? But definitely, if you want to change your mind, change your mind. But this one is directional, so we do want to make sure that it goes on. And when it goes on, you don't want it to get too close to where that flap is. Okay, so get that on there, center it, but don't put it. I put mine up close to this where that flap is, where that score is. Okay, and then just smooth that down, and that way it doesn't interfere with that closure, the fold of that closure. So there's a good what, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch left, so that it doesn't interfere with that. Okay, so I'm going to close all of those, and then now we're going to work on the actual closure part. All right, and this is where all of these pieces come in. You're going to have a piece of red cardstock, and then choose whatever, show you the pieces here, choose whatever cards you want to show on your closure. And then you're going to have in your written tutorials, there was 2 little pieces that you had to cut that are this size, and that is going to be what we're going to do along with our magnet for our closure. Okay, so the best thing to do, I want to show you how this is supposed to look, and then we're going to actually do it, right? So when this is open, let me bring all my pieces down here. There we go. All right. So when this is open, what you're going to see is however you want to mat it. I'm just loosely doing this. This piece is going to be like this so that when you open it right side up, you can see this right side up. Okay. One of your pieces is going to go back behind there to cover that little gap up. Okay. Now on the flip side, when this is closed, you want to be able to see this right side up. Sorry about that. So your second card is what's going to go right here. I'm going to loosely put that down. And then your other piece is what goes up underneath there. So we're going to be putting these scrap pieces on first. I just want you to kind of visually see where I'm going with this. Okay. But this piece back here at the bottom of this 4th of July card that I'm using, that's where our magnet is going to be. Okay. That's where our magnet's going to be. And that's what's going to help close your closure, your little waterfall, your waterfall closure. Okay. So let's do it, right? So let's go ahead and put these pieces down because we want this little piece to go down first. So let's get those out of our way and then we'll focus on our mat. So hopefully you chose some cute cards to go on your flap. And we're going to center that right there, leaving some at the top, some space at the left, and some space at the right, and then get that down. Okay, and if you remember, on the flip side of this, I can grab it, we have one that goes at the bottom right here. So let's go ahead and put that on. It can get a little confusing with some moving parts here. Oops, got some glue on my desk. Let me get that off. Okay, let's go ahead and get that down. Leave some space on the left, bottom, and right. All right, so now we have two loose pieces that we're working with here. All right, so this piece right here, we want to do this piece. And I probably should get my magnets here. Got my two magnets. This is where your two magnets are going to come in handy. One of them is already ready to go. Before we mat, let me see. Let me do something real quick. Let me mat that. Let's put the magnet. Let's put the magnet on this part right here. Okay, so take one of your magnets and stick it right here. Okay, and then just press it down. And let me get, I am taking a super quick picture. There we go. So I can update the tutorials. Okay, now go ahead and mat. Go ahead and mat whatever card you want showing on one side. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's get that down. Put it right in the center. Let's smooth it down a little bit. Okay, and then we are going to put, make sure, yeah, okay. We're going to put, sorry, I had to think about something real quick. We're going to put adhesive down, but we want adhesive to go down on this part right here. Okay, if you go putting it on the back, right now it's not going to matter, and we want this to stick. We want this to stick. Okay, so let's get adhesive tried to stick with a low profile magnet, low profile enough. And then we're going to center this, covering up the end of that pattern paper. I'm hoping that sticks pretty good. The edges probably aren't going to dry they're just going to end up drying because I don't think that's flat enough. Okay, and now that we have that piece, when you flip it up, now you see the back side of this, and that is where this one goes. Okay, so for this one, we definitely want to make sure that we have some good adhesive because it needs to, you're going to see a little bit of a bubble there, but you need to put a lot of adhesive around the edge of this so that it compensates for that magnet that's down in there. Okay, so whether you want to use glue, you know what, for this one, I think what I'm going to do is, because I need that to stick really, really well, I'm going to use some double-sided tape on this one because I need it to really, really stick long term. Okay, so let me get, so if you have some double-sided adhesive, we want this to stick because this is a moving part and you do want to make sure that it is strong enough to be moved over and over and over and over. And we're going to put it along the sides. So on this part, I would recommend some double-sided tape or adhesive or whatever you have. You could use a foam tape if that's all you had. Just make sure it's not like a high profile, like it's not really too thick. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to peel all these pieces off. I'm just going to try to use my fingers there, which that seems to be working. There we go. All right, got some good adhesive. That's some strong adhesive. This particular adhesive, I'll link it in the event description or the video details as well. I got this from my friend from Paper Phenomenon, and this is some really good adhesive, you guys. All right, so let's put this on. Make sure it's centered because if you're using some really good adhesive, there's no going back once this is down. All right, there we go. Yay. It does have a little bit of bulk in the middle just because of that magnet, but that's what helps hold it down. And this is heavy enough to hold it down all on its own, but we're going to put the other magnet on and is it going to close? I want to make sure it's going to stay closed. Yeah. Okay. There's enough. These magnets are not terribly strong magnets. And I was concerned just now because of there's a magnet and then there's a layer of cardstock and then a layer of one of the cards, and it picked it right up. I don't know if you can see it, but on the back, it picked it right up. So that's good. So what I'm going to do at this point, since that magnet's already there, we know it's stuck to the middle of that other magnet. I'm going to go ahead and peel that backing off. And it's still there, so it's exposed. And we're going to set that down. Just set it down loosely, and it's not so strong that it can't just come up, okay? So, but it does help hold it closed there. You can give it a little pressure, but giving it a little pressure just helps this stick down to this piece right here. Now, right here, we're going to be covering that up, okay? We're going to be covering that up with a little cutout that we're going to do from some paper. Probably a balloon cutout or something would be nice to kind of cover that up. Alternatively, you can put it underneath the paper if you want, but I just left mine right on top because we're going to be doing some decorating on the top of that. Okay. But look at that. That's your waterfall. That's your waterfall so far. Okay. And you've got plenty of space in here for pictures, some journaling, and yeah. And then you've got more space down here that we're going to do some decorating. So let's close that up. Fun, fun, fun. All right, now we have our other side. And this is the one where I went ahead and did the tag on that one. And then we have this paper as well, which, you know, on that side, I decided to do the fireworks. You can do the fireworks again, but I think on this one, I'm going to go ahead and use that paper. Okay. We're going to mix it up a little bit. So let's get some adhesive on the back. The sides don't have to match. I think originally I had cut both pieces that were the same, but yeah, this executive change decisions had to be made, and that's what happens. All right, so make sure that if you use this side, your banners are going in the same direction, and there's not a whole lot of time to get this down in there. So let me get that down in there really quickly. There we go. And then try to move it. So I've got a little bit of white all the way around. There we go. And then just smooth it down. Just smooth it down. It's kind of hard right here because of this back piece. So let's pull that up a little bit. Smooth it down with our hands. And then we have this other corner. Gingham piece. Gingham, plaid, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully you are able to decorate as I go along. There are timestamps in the video to help you. So if you want to go back and look at a certain page, you can just skip to that timestamp. All right, now we have that side down. And then just like I did this other tag right here, I went ahead and did the second tab. And I also, with your kit, you're going to have some twine. You're going to have red and white, and you're going to have blue and white. Okay, so you're going to have I think a yard. You're going to have enough to do your closures, and then also to do these little bitty pieces of your tags as well. Okay, but that's what we're going to be doing on all the other tags, is making little loop pulls there, and then that just slides right in there. And then we're going to be, of course, decorating this little pocket here with some stickers. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, the next thing is the back side of this pocket right here. And we've got our tag pieces right there. And where is our pieces? There's that piece, and then there's that one, and then that one. I'm going to make sure I got all my pieces here. Okay. This piece, your hot air balloons, you can use either the hot air balloons or you can use the pinwheels. And I see hot air balloons right here, so I might switch this and decide to use the pinwheels instead. Yeah, let's do that. Since I have hot air balloons right here, since I have them right there, let's do pinwheels right here. So let's go ahead and I'm changing it up again. I'm changing it up. And then now we're going to work quickly to get that down in that pocket. Get past that little loop. There we go. All right, let me center that and then give it a little bit of pressure. There we go. And then this big piece right here, you can either use the fireworks or you can use the banners, which I don't know, you guys. The fireworks are pretty, and this is on the back side too. So I think this pattern, I don't know. As I sit here and decide, hopefully you know which side you want to use. I am very indecisive right now, but what's going to help me decide is let me pull what's going to be showing right here on the right. So let me just set that down and look at it. And that's kind of busy with all of that. So we're going to use the fireworks side to kind of break up all of that. So I'm kind of glad that I pulled that piece out from the next one. So let's go ahead and get this down. All the way around. So whatever side you decided to use, I hope that you like it. I hope that you like it. All right. And this is, let's do it this way. It sort of looked directional. And we're going to center that on the front of this pocket. This is why I decided against sponge daubing the edges, because it would be hard to get into all these spots. And you would have to have done all that back when you were assembling your album. And I don't think this album needs it. Honestly, I don't think it needs it. All right, so what's going to go right here? We have another little mat that we're going to use. And maybe I did intend to use that because I pulled this one. If it involves fireworks, summer nights, barbecues, popsicles, and freedom, count me in. So we're going to mat that on this piece of red cardstock that you'll have. You'll notice in your kit you do have all of those pieces. So if you want to lay all of those out, that's something I highly suggest. And then put that right in the center. Smooth that down. And we're not working with a whole lot of dimension because the album itself is very dimensional. And once you start adding pictures in and anything else you want to put in your little folio album, then it's going to bulk up. Okay, so we don't want the album to be so bulky itself that you can't put anything but flat pictures in it. Okay, and we're going to put that right in the center. Okay, and we'll be decorating it a little bit more with some stickers, but that is going to be the base of what that looks like. Okay, now we have this piece right here. Let's go ahead and put that down. Got this little strip of blue as well, blue cardstock that goes down in there. And I'm going to have to clean the tip of my glue gun here. Looks like it's, well, it's got some issues with the tip there. All right, so let's get that down in that little strip to cover that up. Make sure it's center, which it is. And let me see if I can get, so I don't give myself a paper cut, because that could happen. That could happen. Let me hold it up there. Use my bone folder just to help press that down. Okay. All right. Woo. Now we are working with, let's finish our tag. Hello, Barbara. We got this tag right here. And let's get that down. Forgot a tag. There's a tag that goes down in there. I looked right at it too, right before I was getting ready to move forward. Okay, let's get that down. Right there at the top. Okay, now for this one, I decided to get a little creative, and I did circle hole punch one of the little pinwheels. But with your hole punch, if you want to use a piece of cardstock, you could also use a piece of cardstock. Let's get some glue around the edge of that. And let's put that right in the center. And we are going to be poking a hole through that. So I'm just going to grab one of our eyelets. Let that set a minute. Grab your crocodile or your hole punch tool, whatever you have. Hopefully you have a crocodile. And we are going to punch right in the center of that pinwheel. So you're going to be punching out that little star Trying to get it right in the center. There we go. And then we're going to stick our eyelet. If you don't have a crocodile, no worries. You can still punch a hole if you have a hole punch and feed it through. Okay. The crocodile, I use this to make the hole, but also to set the eyelet in as well. But like I said, you can still get away with that just by using a hole punch and running your twine through it and tying, a knot, a little bow, whatever you want to use. Okay, so don't feel like you have to go out and buy a crocodile. But if you ever come across one of these, they are handy to have. There's 2 sides for making holes, and then you have your different sides for whatever eyelets you are using. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Did it roll off? I heard something hit the floor. It did. These kittens are having a heyday, but as long as they're not bothering me, I am fine. I'm trying to, almost made eye contact with one and ruined it. All right, let me get this down in there, and then let me pick it up so I can press it slowly. It's always best to press those slowly. All right, so now I have my little eyelet right in the center of my pinwheel. Now you can also, with these tags, if you have some scraps left over, you can also add a little strip along the bottom, which I might end up doing as well. I haven't decided, but the more you can decorate either the front or the back, this one I probably would do the back. You can do that, okay? But this one, once we loop some twine through there, this one goes down into this pocket, and it does go down. There we go. There we go. Just go down. Sometimes it'll catch on the inside of the album, and that's okay. But having that little pull, that gives you the ability to be able to just pull this out. Okay. So let me stick that down in there. I put that strip on there, and then now, now we have our little accordion album, which is the I think I missed cutting something, but I just realized it. But that's okay. I'll add it to anything else, or anything else I've already missed. All right. So for the front of your accordion folder, okay, there's an easy way to get that so where you can cut it. Now, when you go to cut your paper, you do want to make sure that when you cut it, it's the width that's in the tutorials and then the length. So you want to you're going to have a rectangular piece of paper. And what you do, I'm going to flip it to this side to kind of give you an example. Pretend like this is not cut at all, and this is a full sheet of paper. What you're going to do is you're going to trace. You want to get your paper in your accordion folder. Okay, and get it down in there. Get it in there as far as it'll go. Now you can see how it lines up because it's supposed to match the whole front of this piece. You want to pull it out a little bit, okay? Like maybe a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch. Probably more like an 1/8 of an inch. That looks like it's about an 1/8 of an inch. And then what you want to do is you want to take a pencil or a erasable pen, but I would use a pencil, and then you want to trace it. Okay, you want to trace it along the edge. And then when you take it out, you want to cut it. Okay, you want to cut it. And it was pulled out a little bit so that when you go to put it on the front and you go to center it, then you see a little bit of that white all the way around. Now right here, it looks a little bit off. And that, hold on. Loki was playing a little bit rough with one of the kittens. Sorry about that. You want to push this back into place, And if you need to, you can trim it a little bit. So before you go putting the glue down, once this is centered on here, then you know kind of where you can go back and trim it off a little bit. But it's not going to be completely perfect, and that's okay. Also, when you go to close this, you're not even going to see that part until you open it. And most people, when they go through these albums, they're just looking at all the different decorating and just the design of it, that something that minor is not even going to matter. Okay, so don't beat yourself up too much on that. Now on this one, I will tell you, there is also going to be another magnet closure right here. So because of this paper, we're going to go ahead and put, I want to go ahead and put a magnet right here. So let's do that. You're going to get your magnet, and we're going to be covering the magnet with paper on this side right here. But we definitely want to put a magnet right here. I'm going to put it, about right there. Oh, that's probably way too. Yeah. You don't want it any lower than that, because then it'll be on here. You want it to be able to catch on there. So we've got that right there. Let's go ahead and get the other magnet down. Okay, so grab another magnet and peel off your backing. What in the world? Put your magnets together. So line up your magnets just like that. And then press this over loosely. Okay, that way it ends up in the same spot. So when it goes to close, it'll close. All right, now let's put our paper down. So let's get some, let me clean that off. That's looking kind of bad now. Go. All right. It's starting to goop up at the end there, and I'm wondering if I'm getting close to the end of this glue. Let's do that. I'm just going to put it around the edge and then right around in here, because I know that my magnet's going to be right there somewhere in the center. Okay, I'm get around the edge there to make sure that it doesn't catch on anything. Okay, let's get that down. We're going to have to work quickly to get this down. Perfect. All right, a little bit of adhesive there. Looks like I didn't put enough adhesive right in there, but that's okay. That's right where my magnet is, so it pops up just a little bit. If you're watching this afterwards, maybe a little bit of I can't put the double-sided tape on there now that that's down, but maybe if you have a glue dot, let's do that. I'm going to grab a glue dot, and I'm going to put a glue dot right in there, and I'm just going to use it with my little my little pokey tool there, and I'm going to slide that in there. There we go, to help hold that down. I just didn't want that gap to be showing on the front there. Okay, now we do have some more pieces. We have a really thin piece. You're going to have a really thin piece of blue paper. You can also use a strip of pattern paper if you have some pattern paper in there. We have this piece. We have this piece, the one that I'm not too crazy about. And then we also have this piece right here. And then we have the back piece that I need to cut, that I just realized that when I was looking at that I didn't cut. Now let's take the piece of paper that's going to go on the inside. So this is going to go right on the inside, and it's going to go up to right before your first score line. You got 2 score lines right here. It's going to go there, and you want it to go about 1/8 of an inch inward so that it doesn't interfere with when you go closing your accordion folder. So let's get this paper on. I'm going to put it mainly on one side so that I can slide that down in there. Okay, slide that down in there and then get it to where it is right before that line. If you need to get in there, you can get your bone folder in there to help smooth that down. Okay, and then you have that little strip. This little strip right here is going to go on that piece right there. Okay, that's why it is so thin. I think this is like 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to try to get my glue. That's why I love the little tip of this glue gun, because only so much glue comes out unless you press in the same spot over and over and over. Go. All right, so let's get that down before it starts to dry. And that goes right there in that spot. Okay, and then just press that down. Okay, and then now we have the inside flap of your accordion folder, and that's where I decided to use this paper. I was like, I gotta use this paper again, even though I didn't want to. I went ahead and used it. And what we're going to do is we're going to get some glue along the back edge of that. But then right here, because it's going to want to pop up a little bit, that's where we'll probably use some glue dots to help hold that down. So let's go ahead and get, since I have some glue dots, you can also use your double-sided tape. If you have double-sided tape, I'm going to put some glue dots right here on the corners and in the middle. And you'll see why. So we want some extra tape right there on that side, and then everywhere else we're gonna put glue so we can glue this down. Get that down. This glue does dry quickly, so I have to work quickly. It's a very, this is the Nuvo glue, which goes with that glue press. Now you can use any glue. When you buy that glue press, you also get an empty bottle so that you can fill your other bottle up with whatever glue. If you use the green glue, you can use that. And I'm just giving a little pressure right around there. That's where these glue dots were. Okay. And then my magnets right there. And then you can, I don't know if you heard that. That tapping is the two magnets kind of coming together to help close it. Now they're not strong magnets, so you could accidentally, well, not accidentally, but I mean it does help keep it closed. All right, now this last piece, this is the piece that goes right here on this end. Okay. You could also do a figure 8 closure for this little area too, if you wanted to do that. But for this one, I thought between putting my how can I say this? My thought behind not doing the figure 8 enclosure with the button is we were already doing so much between assembling the album that I decided we're just going to use magnets. We'll do a figure 8 closure on another folio album. There's always time for that, right? Yes, there's always time for that. All right, so now we have this piece down. Yay! What's next? There is another piece, and this is the one where, remember this piece right here? Let's use it right there. I had totally forgot about that, but I'm kind of glad that I boo-booed at the very beginning because I have this sheet, and even though I have glue on there already, it's already dry. We're going to put more glue on there. Let's put some more glue on there. Let's use this up because I do not want to waste this. This paper is so pretty. We do not want to waste it. Let's get glue back on here. It is still sticky actually in a few spots, but it's not enough to keep it like really, really down. Okay. So, and then we have a little strip right here on the edge too that I'm going to have to cut. So this is the back of that. And let's put that right in the center. Oh, this turned out perfect. Like my boo-boo at the very beginning is paying off right now because I'm able to use that sheet. And I'm so glad because I did not want to waste this pretty paper. Look at this paper, you guys. It's so pretty. Now, right here goes another piece of cardstock. And what do I have? I actually have a piece right here, but it's a little bit too wide. It needs to be the same as this strip right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my paper trimmer out. I will make sure in your kits your piece is already, yeah, it's 1/4 of an inch, and this needs to be like 1/8 of an inch less. Let's see if I can do it. Yep, I did it. All right, so I will make sure all of your pieces are cut properly. All your cardstock pieces, okay? And then now, you can see that piece is going to go right there on the edge to help finish off that edge, okay? So let's get some glue on the back of that. And it got really quiet in here. I don't know if y'all could ever hear the kittens, but it got really quiet. So they're either conked out somewhere from playing hard, or they're into something that they shouldn't be, which is equally scary. Well, that part's scary. If they're conked out sleeping somewhere, that is fine. All right. And let's get that down in there. We got to act quickly to get that in place. For something this small, also, if you don't do glue, you can get away with probably using glue dots. Just get them all the way across your piece of cardstock. Okay. Let me move that over a little bit because this is the top of the accordion folder here. So just try to smooth that down. Yay. And then we have our back. And then let me go ahead and close it. We do have some other things that we're about to put together real quick. They're the enclosures for the inside of your pocket. Okay, so let's go ahead and do those. Now in your kit, you're gonna have 4. This is some thick white cardstock as well. All your tags are going to be a thick cardstock, and so you're going to have 4 of these. Now, what you're also going to have is you're going to have some circles. I cut them in half because you are going to cut them in half, but you're going to have some circles. You're going to have 2 of each color. And then in your written tutorials, you'll have instructions for cutting some paper. And this paper is going to go at the bottom. You can do the bottom or the top if you want to mix them up. In fact, let's do that. We'll mix them up. Okay, so for one of these, I think I decided, yeah, we're going to use the pinwheels on this one because those look more complete than the hot air balloons. So we're going to mix these up so they don't all bulk up on one side. Okay, so let's get some adhesive on the back of that. And we're going to put this one along the bottom. Kind of center it. Go. You can make it the width of that one, but I think on this one I purposely left that. I don't know. Who knows what I did? Because these all are the same. Now in the next one, let's get some adhesive on the back of this. Okay, and then let's put this along the top. Center it. Yeah, it is way too quiet in here. I'm looking around to see if I see a cat on the bottom of the stairs. I'm hoping all the kittens went upstairs. We're gonna flip-flop these from bottom to top. Put the stars in here. Probably could have done a better cut on that star, just because that one's going sideways, but that's okay. And then the last one is going to be the fireworks. Or you can do, ooh, kind of like the banners. I'm going to do the banners. Originally, I cut it for the fireworks, but now that I'm flipped that over, I'm like, wait a minute. I like the banners. I like the banners too. Let's put some more glue right here on the corner. Like I said, this is your album. If you want to change a paper, change it. I'd like to see what you decided to do. If you did like what I did, or if you decided to do something a little different, I want to see. All right, so now we have all these cards. Now, all these cards, these are designed to go inside the accordion pocket. You can put pictures on them. You can do some journaling. If there was some kind of keepsake you want to attach to one of these, or maybe you want to include in with the folders, you can fill that accordion folder up with as many. So if you want to make more of these and put some in there, you can do that. If you want to make more tags, if you want to make another tag to go back behind that tag, you can certainly do that as well. So we have these 4 cards. They go in that folder. That's where the circles come in. Okay, so we're going to put one on each one of them so that we can pull them out, basically. And what are we going to do? We're just going to add the tabs kind of randomly. We're going to put some here. I'm going to try to put it opposite there. So, and then move them around a little bit. That way they're not all just on one side. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little adhesive just along the edge. Now, if you have a, oops, that kind of went over a little bit more than I wanted right there. If you have a tag punch and you want to use like a tag, like a pull tab, you can do that. Okay, you can take the punch, fold it in half, and then add it to the end here. Okay, and you want to make sure you don't see any glue on the other side, and that's what you want to do for all of them. But like on this one, and then I'm going to put it in the pocket so you can see. So if you're watching this and trying to decide how you want to do yours, that's probably best, because I tend to change my mind and boo-boo from time to time. All right. Do that. Okay. And then let's do this one. So you do have circles in there. And then if you want to do them with the half circles, all you have to do is cut them in half. Cut them in half. And let's put one right here. You let that set for a little moment. Press that down. Those are just to help pull them out of the pocket. You don't have to do this part. You can leave it a completely open accordion. And then we're going to put this one about like that. I probably should have laid these out a little better. Yeah, that'll work. I was trying to stagger the colors as well as the patterned paper. And then in the decorating process, we're going to be putting some stickers on here just to help decorate the tabs a little bit more. Like I said, this is just the pattern paper and the cardstock parts to all this. And then now you have 4 cards. Why is that sticking there? There we go. There we go. I was trying to get them to where but I wasn't paying attention. So I've got 2 colors, but you can flip them around. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's flip it around like, well, it still doesn't go. So I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did, but that's okay. You'll get it. All right. So these actually go down in, you can put them in the top or the bottom. Looking at this other angle there. There we go. Just slide those down in there. It's catching on something. Well, also my hand's not operating properly either. So let's do this. Let's get, there we go. I was trying to put them all in there at the same time. And I think that was part of my problem. That one. And then, of course, I can't do a whole lot with the right side of my hand because that does hurt. And then these will go in the front. Stick that in there. There we go. There we go. Whew. Ooh, that was rough for me, you guys. I don't see any other pieces that I need to cut. And then let's close that. So that's why you don't want them sticking out too much because you don't want it to interfere with your little fold there, but they're in there. You can stick them in there like that, close that up, and then let's do this. So this is what our album so far looks like. I'm going to have fun editing this part. So I had a few boo-boos in the beginning, but that's okay. We've got the bulk. We've got probably 90%, 90 to 95% of this album completed. Okay. We just have a couple of more things to do with some stickers. But this is what the album looks like when it's open. I'm going to go ahead and close it, and then we are going to look at it once through. So when you go to close it, you want to close the right side first, then your left side, and then your accordion pocket goes in next. And then this piece right here goes in there because that's going to help close up that pocket. Remember that pocket at the very beginning? So that just slides back behind there, and then that closes like that. Okay. And then technically the album is complete. The only part that's left is going to be the closure, and we're going to be doing a closure. So that's going to be its own little video. And look at that. Hopefully you can see that. But you've got plenty of room. So let's take one good look through this. And then we will close this. And then I will do a separate video for anything else that I missed because we were going on almost 2 hours. Well, at least it says 2 hours, but I have a little bit of editing that I need to do on that. So we've got the front of our album. What is this? Some dimensional stuff back behind there. Like, where's that? All right, let's clean that up. Let's move that out of the way. All right. Front of our album. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this clockwise. I was trying to think counterclockwise or clockwise. All right. Front of our album. Pretty, pretty, pretty. The right side. The back. And then our left spine. Right? And then we go to open it. And we're like, ooh, ah. We're like already amazed at what we see so far, right? Our pocket right here. Okay, so this part does pop out. So this will, as you open and close it, it will bend a little more. You've got the front. You've got this side. We're going to be putting some stickers on that, so no worries. I know it looks a little plain right now, but we're going to be decorating it. We do have a whole sticker sheet that we're going to be using. And then you have a pocket here. That's the whole reason for this closure right here. I'm going to leave that open. Then you have this page, which you can decorate a little bit more. And then you go opening your album and you see this front pocket, which in the very end, I will already have the little bitty closures. That'll be the second video for all the little other things that we need to do to finish it. And then also this piece right here. Now that I'm looking at this, I realize I still missed cutting this piece. So I will do that as well. Don't forget that. Because we also do need to, where did it go? Yeah, we're going to have to do that because that's where the little hole punch goes. And I want to make sure that you get that part right. Okay, so look out for the second video with all the little bit. I'm going to go back through this and make sure that I get in the second video all the little things that I missed from this video. But this is your first tag. And this one's got front and back. That just slides down in there. And then you go to flip it, and then you have another side pocket with another tag you can put in there. I don't know. I might make some extra tags so you can have a couple of tags in there. So just, and then you have your waterfall in the center, and your magnet keeps it closed so it doesn't fall apart. And then when you flip this down, you see this one right side up. And then you have your waterfall. I'm also going to be covering that up, so don't worry about that. And then you have your waterfall. It's decorated. Decorated, decorated. These aren't supposed to be so decorated that if you wanted to put a lot of pictures, these are some good size, a good size waterfall for some good size pictures. So fill them up, fill up the front and fill up the back if you've got pictures. And then you can also put another picture right here. Okay, so then your waterfall closes, and then that helps keep that closed. And then your right side pocket, you have another tag or two. And then when we go to flip it, you've got another larger pocket in here with another larger tag. We won't forget the little loop for that one as well. And then you have an accordion folder over here that's decorated. You don't see any of the magnets. Okay, and then you have those inserts. If you want them to be a little bit loose to really get them in there, then just trim off a little bit of the edge. I might do that just for mine because of my fingers, and it'll help get them in there a little bit easier. But it is a tight fit. So if that's too tight in that folder for you, literally just trim off like 1/8 of an inch off of your piece right here. And what is that? Oh, it's a kitten in a box. I don't know if you heard that, but it's a kitten in a box. Literally just trim 1/8 of an inch off, and then they'll slide a lot smoother into your pocket. Let me see if I can get those back in there. I should be able to. Yeah, I'm going to probably end up trimming mine. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I am going to trim literally on one side. My trimming blade came off. I'm going to trim this off just 1/8 of an inch, because that's going to drive me nuts. Okay, and then I'm going to do it on this side. Literally, you see how much I'm trimming. It literally is just a sliver. And let's take it off of this side right here. Since I put those tabs already on. Hi, baby. Yep, somebody's trying to get my attention. All right. I know, Mama's almost done. Oh, my goodness. All right, so now we have these trimmed down a little bit. Why is that catching on there? There we go. I know, baby. All right, let's get those down in there. Oh yeah, those go down a little bit smoother. Okay, so I'm gonna leave. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, so yeah, those did go down there a little bit better, and then now that closes. And then now we're gonna close. Now we're gonna close this right here. Sorry about having to mute that. I muted it real quick when I heard. Here we go again. Okay, sorry about muting that. Right before that happened, I heard the baby that was crying. He got sick. He got sick and literally just like upchucked right on the floor next to me. So I'm going to have to clean that up as soon as this video is over with. So we're pretty much done. I just wanted to trim those off to show you, yes, they do slide down in there a little bit easier. If you want to take them down a little bit more, you can also take them down a little bit more as well. Then you close that. Now, when it goes to closing it, like I said, you definitely want to take on your middle parts, you definitely want to take the right side of this pocket and fold that in, and then fold in your left side, and then your accordion goes in next. And the last piece to go in is going to be this side, but you want to slide, you want to pick it up a little bit to help give you a little bit of leeway there, or where you can slide it in a little better, because you don't want to completely bend this. So you pull that up a little bit like that, and then bend it a little bit to get it to go back behind there. There we go. Okay, and then you close that part. And then the last piece is going to be the actual closure to close it. Or if you don't want a closure, then you don't need a closure. You can leave it just like that. Okay, nothing's going to fall out leaving it like that. Nothing's going to fall out like that, because you have that closure right here keeping that pocket in. But I am going to do a closure video, so keep a lookout for that. And other than that, I'll be make sure to watch the other video for any of the other little pieces. And I'm going to go back through here and write everything down so I don't miss it the second time. But other than that, that is assembling your Americana themed Folio 2 album using America the Beautiful paper. So I hope that you have a lot of pretty pictures and memories to put in your album. This is gorgeous paper. I had fun putting the album together. I had fun cutting the paper and kind of putting everything together. I had fun putting this video together. So I hope that you found it useful when it comes to laying out whatever you want to use for your papers. I will put a preface to all of this because I know I did change my mind a couple of times throughout the video. And so I don't want you to waste any of your paper, and I don't want you to feel like you've boo-booed because it doesn't look exactly like mine. Like I said, this is your album. It can be whatever you want it to be, and it can look however you want it to look. I just want you to have fun putting this together, whether you're doing it for yourself or whether you are giving it as a gift to somebody. These are the perfect gifts, and I'm very, very pleased with how mine's turned out. This is the first actual folio album that I have put together, and I'm very pleased with it. So I've learned some things along the way. I'm hoping you learned some things along the way, and I hope most of all you had fun, and thank you for purchasing this class. It is one way to support this particular channel, and I truly, truly appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you in the next video.